Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a GitHub account and what are the basic things that you can do with it at a very, very basic level. There will be a couple of other videos showing you slightly more advanced uses of GitHub, and let's get started. So first you go to github.com right here. You will land in a page like this, and you can sign up for GitHub if you're not there. So let's enter an email. So continue, create a password, continue. I'll enter a username. So I'm going to enter my username, that. Email preference. Do I want to receive occasional product updates? No, not really. So then I continue. So to verify my account, okay, in this case, I need to solve this puzzle so we know you're a real person. So I'm going to go verify. Okay. Use the arrows to rotate the objects to face in the direction of the hand. So a little test. You pass it. They'll send you a code to your email. Okay, and I'm going to open my email and look for that code. I'll copy the code. All right. And then my account was created. So I'm going to sign up with my account. And that is my sign in. Now, they are going to have a little wizard to set up, to set up this thing. And you put whatever it is that fits in here. Just for practical purpose, I'm going to say this. I'm going to work with some people, and I'm not a student or a teacher for the purposes of this video. Now, what are the top 2 things I want to do with GitHub? Well, I want to start a new project, and maybe I want to contribute to open source project. I don't know, you pick. And then we have a GitHub account at this point, okay? And I'm going to continue with a free account just because it's the account that I think most people are going to create at the beginning. And this is my account. What I have here and what I can see here, right, is that I can create my first project. Each project lives in what's called a repository, okay? A repository is where projects live and people collaborate on projects. And the repositories can be public or private, okay? So I'm going to create a new repository, okay? It's going to be public, and it's going to be, the name of it is going to be the cert recipes, okay? I just like that. You can do that. You can have a space there, whatever floats your boat. You can have a little profile, and then we're going to talk about this readme in a second. And then there's other tools that you can explore. So I'm going to create a new repository here. I did not create it here. I'm just going to create it here. It's the same thing. This one is more bare bones. So I'll create my first repository. And what I'm going to do here, why did I create dessert recipes? Because I want to store dessert recipes. And if the community can improve, or some other collaborator can improve on my dessert recipes, they're welcome to collaborate on them. Upload new dessert recipes, modify the ones that are existing there, and so on and so forth. So the idea here is that I don't only work on the web. I work on these recipes in my computer and I upload them to the web. And other collaborators work on their computers and upload them to this central repository again. So this is where we have a quick setup. Uh, and we'll talk about this in a second. So I can add collaborators to this repository, so I can invite people. So I'll invite one collaborator, just get that out of the way. So here are the collaborators, add people. And I'm going to add another account that I have, just so that when we collaborate, you can see two people collaborating in this repository. You see that the view changed, okay? That's not a problem. You can go back to code here. There's issues, pull request, action projects. We're not going to get to all this because this is a very introductory class. So we're going to go to code, which is the view that we were previously. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to create our first cooking recipe, right? A first dessert recipe. But also we want to create some information about this repository. It's always good to have an informational file about this repository. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create what's called a readme file. So I'll click on that readme, and this creates a file. Now you can see the structure of my repository. It's called the search recipes / and then the files that go here or subfolders, subdirectories. It's called readme.md. This is written in a language called Markdown. I invite you to look at it. You put certain characters before putting some text, and that means something. So for example, if I put two of these and says, description, right, that's going to be a subtitle. And then I'll say, this repository collects my favorite recipes for desserts. All of you with a sweet tooth are welcome to collaborate. And that's fine. And that's my README file. Now, the process is in GitHub is that I will create a file that I want to put there. I will stage that file, meaning I'm going to say, hey, GitHub, I want to upload the file as is. And then committing the changes, which means, okay, do it. Upload this to the repository. Okay. Now, on the web, you can say commit changes, and that does both things. It both stages and commits the file. Before we do that, though, let's preview this. And this is what it's going to look like. Those hash marks that I put in front of the words, they mean something, right? They format this. All right. So I'm going to commit the changes. And whenever you commit the changes, because this is collaboration, you want to say what you did. So the commit message is create a README file. I can or skip this part, but I can say initial description. That's what I did. And commit the changes. Now this file is in my repository. So this is my repository, right? And now I have a file here. I have a readme.md here that is being displayed here. I can create another file. I'm going to create my first recipe, okay? So for that, I'm going to create a new file right here and add file, create a new file. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a recipe for cupcakes, okay? So I'm going to say, here my recipe, I'm going to say ingredients, and then I'm going to put all the ingredients for a cupcake. So here it is, right? And this, I'm going to call this file, I'm going to name this file, I'm going to say cupcakes, right? And then I'm going to put these things here, all the ingredients, right? Then I can put, the procedure, for example, right? So the directions. And then I can put, different steps and whatnot, let's say there's, I don't know, a few steps that I'm going to put there for this. So I'm going to put a few directions here. Okay. So this is my recipe for cupcakes, and I'm going to commit the changes. And I say, create the file cupcakes, right? Basic cake recipe. Commit changes. So now I have two files, the readme, which is displayed here, and the cupcakes. And if I select cupcakes here, I will go to the file. Usually in my repository, in the main view of my repository, if I go to code again, the main view of my repository, I'm going to see the files, and I'm going to see the readme down here, so people can actually, this is public, so people can actually see what this is like. Okay? So this is the basics of where GitHub stuff lives. In the next video, we're going to see how to bring this to your computer and work in your computer and synchronize it with whatever is over here. Thank you.